Hey everyone, so today I am going to walk you through a meal prep. I am going to be doing kale and saltfish with sweet potato, Panang curry chickpeas with quinoa and cabbage, and blackened shrimp with pasta and broccoli. I'm trying to reduce the amount of meat that I'm eating, so I am going to be doing a pescatarian meal prep this week. So it's my first attempt. Wish me good luck. So here we have all of our supplies that we're going to be using today. So we have 2 cans of chickpeas. I have some leftover coconut milk and some leftover spaghetti sauce. That's what I'm going to be using for the sauce for the pasta. And I got this Panang curry from HEB. It's a little kit to kind of simplify or take a shortcut to the cooking. And I have a pound of shrimp, thyme, scallion, some organic kale, garlic, bell peppers, tomatoes, onions, carrots, sweet potato. My saltfish I had put to soak from overnight because we're gonna be boiling the salt out of it, and cabbage and the broccoli. So we're gonna get prepping. We're gonna start by washing all of our vegetables and chopping them up. Of course, the Penne Pasta and the quinoa that we're gonna be using as the sides. So here we've gone ahead and washed our veggies to get them ready to be chopped up. Pour off the water that it's been sitting in, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this to boil so it can start boiling up while I prep the veggies. So this is the blackening seasoning that I'm gonna be using. I got it at HEB. And I'm not gonna add anything extra to the shrimp. I'm just gonna put just this blackening seasoning on it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spray my air fryer with some olive oil. And I'm gonna peel and chop up my sweet potatoes, and I'm just gonna put them in there and shake it around with a little bit of salt and pepper. So I'm just gonna add some black pepper and some salt. And I had sprayed a little bit more olive oil in there. And then I'm just gonna shake it around and then put it in the air fryer on whatever your setting is for French fry. And then we will check it when it's done. So we boiled the saltfish for about 30 minutes and it's cooked now, and probably most of the salt is boiled out of it. So here comes the not so fun part, is you drain the water off of it and then you put the saltfish in some cold water and then you have to pick all the bones out. So that's my least favorite part of this whole thing. All right, so we've got our oil heated. So this is raw peeled shrimp. With the blackening seasoning. Shrimp cooks very fast, so, and it's kind of delicate, so you want to make sure that you are watching it really close, because pretty much as soon as they turn pink, you got to start prepping yourself to flip them. So we're gonna go ahead and put the pasta in. We did go ahead and add some salt to the water. And it says 10 to 12 minutes for this to be done. So we're just going to stir it up and let it boil. So I've started another pot of water to boil to make my broccoli, and the veggies are sauteing. I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of that spaghetti sauce and coconut milk. So our sweet potato looks kind of done. I don't mind them if they're a little bit burnt. I'm probably gonna put it back in there because I don't think it cooks it all the way on the first go around. Yeah, they're not cooked all the way. But I'm gonna basically just kind of shake them around and stick them back in there. And we're just gonna stir that up. So I'm just gonna spray some more olive oil on here and just kind of shake it around. And then I'm going to put it in the air fryer. All right, so I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil, and this is to make our curried chickpeas. And we're gonna heat that up. So we're gonna make our quinoa according to the directions on the package. It's 2 cups. I'm gonna make 2 cups. So 2 cups of quinoa and then 4 cups of water or broth. And then you just bring it to a boil and then for 15 minutes. So we've washed out our pot and we're going to be reusing the same pot. We've put water in there to start boiling to make the pasta, and we have our quinoa going, and in this pan we are going to start, we're just going to kind of pan fry our shrimp. And I'm going to add my chickpeas. And then I'm just going to cover it and let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. So we've put some oil in our pan and we've heated it. And we're going to put... So you can see our quinoa started to boil up. So we're going to put it on low. And some onion and a little piece of habanero pepper. Some scallion. Some bell pepper. And we are going to saute this. Okay, so these are pretty much ready. So we're just going to go ahead and we're also going to add some tomatoes. Remove them from the heat. I think I'm just going to add both of these tomatoes, these 2 tomatoes. So we're going to use the same pan to make the sauce for our pasta. I'm going to add a couple of smashed pimento seeds. I'm going to put a spoon of some smoked minced garlic, because I like the flavor of the smoked paprika. About a handful of onions. And a little bit of Cajun seasoning, maybe a handful and a half of bell peppers, and some black pepper. Don't forget to check on your pasta. And we are just going to saute this. And I'm going to start adding my kale now. So I freeze my coconut milk that's left over in an ice cube tray. And then that way, I'm going to go ahead and if I just want a little bit, then I could just use just a little bit. But that might be about a half a cup. And this is about 1 cup of spaghetti sauce, maybe a little bit less than 1 cup. So you guys know kale shrinks up to pretty much nothing. So that was about 3 handfuls, and I'm just gonna leave it on low. Let it sit for maybe about 10 minutes, and I'll come back and cook it. And I'm just gonna cover this to let it in the freezer. So we're gonna put a little bit of vegetable oil in our heated pan to make the cabbage. So our noodles are ready. And our quinoa, we just have to let that sit. And I'm gonna add some onion and scallion. Our sauce, we're just gonna go ahead and pour the sauce directly onto our pasta. And the remainder of my bell peppers. And I'm gonna saute that for a little bit, then I'm gonna add my cabbage. Our water for our broccoli is starting to boil. So we're just gonna dump the broccoli in. I don't really like for my broccoli to be overcooked, so I'm probably just gonna leave them in there for maybe 3. We're gonna drain our chickpeas from the can in the meantime. And I'm going to add a spoon of garlic. And some onions. And some bell pepper. I'm going to check on my kale. Some scallion. So while I'm waiting on the cabbage and the kale to finish cooking, I'm going to go ahead and start some thyme out the food. So I'm thinking about 1 cup of pasta. And I'm going to saute that. And I'll put broccoli to fill in the rest. I feel like I'm going to have a lot of leftover pasta. So I'm putting just a little bit over 1 cup. And then just what I estimate to be maybe about 1 cup of broccoli. More or less. So the sweet potato is done. And the broccoli is done. Our pasta is done. And we are on the saltfish and kale. And then I think maybe about 6 shrimp should be a serving. I'm just guesstimating. 2, 4, 6, okay. Okay, that leaves what? 2, 4, Okay, so it was 3 6 18, 20 shrimp in the bag. So 2 of the servings will have 7. But so I was right, about 3 containers. We're gonna add our saltfish and some thyme. So same idea for the sweet potato and kale. Maybe about a cup of sweet potato. And we're gonna cover it. Actually, I think I have enough for maybe 4 servings of this. So normally they make saltfish and cabbage, not cabbage, saltfish and callaloo in Jamaica, but I couldn't find any callaloo, so I figured why not attempt to just make it with kale. You know, just use what I have. So our chickpeas is looking pretty good. It smells great, so that's good. Tastes pretty good too. I think this is done. And then I'm just gonna add the chickpeas. I think I'm gonna have chickpeas left over too. So this one is actually a vegetarian one, so if you wanted to make something like this, I was gonna add the carrots that we peeled earlier too, but I don't think I'm going to. I feel like I'm gonna save the carrots for another day. But at least they'll already be cut up.
Maybe about 4 out of this.
So that'll be good. I feel like that's enough. Oh, it's only a little bit. I might as well put it all in there. I actually feel like I could add a little bit more kale to this, so I think I'm gonna add another handful.